that this is one of the most important votes we will take over the next 2 years. And for a lot of us on both sides of the aisle, this is the first time we will get to weigh in on this important set of rules that will govern how we operate this body over the next 2 years. I'd like to briefly speak to one rule that is glaringly not in our rules. So a lot of the rules that we are talking about are procedural in nature, and our constituents and the public don't generally know about them. But there's one that I have heard many times from my constituents and it's about amendments being germane to the underlying bill. That's not how they say it. They'll say, why do they add extra stuff onto bills? Why did they change this at the last second? And often I'll tell them a story about a bill that I had that had to do with oil and gas posting requirements. And it got changed to expunge records for cannabis or drug paraphernalia violations. This is the gut and replace. It's famous and it's wrong. The practice of removing language of a bill and replacing it entirely in order to get around the 3-day constitutional posting requirement is wrong. Every bill that deserves a full hearing that we intend to be legislation. At least 46 states have rules that require that amendments be germane to the underlying bill. It's a common sense rule to maintain the integrity of the contemplative legislative process and to promote straightforward legislating and for the public to know our true intention. On the whole, though, we often hear from members in this chamber that we need active participation from rank and file members on both sides of the aisle to fix the true challenges our state faces. I agree with that, but voting for these rules will mean perpetuating a system that closes out new ideas, that shuts down all debate, that consolidates power at the top and leaves most of our constituents without a voice in this process. Voting for these rules shuts out the minority party and, as has been mentioned, shuts out the voices of our 5.5 million constituents. Every Illinoisan deserves better, and we can do better. We've presented a set of rules that are better. We need a transparent, straightforward process that returns the power to individual legislators. We can and should do better, and I urge all of my colleagues to please vote no.